Rapids Nation, we are joined by a man who I don't think needs any introduction. If you were at any of the games last year and you've paid attention to any of the social media, Coach Brad Mackenzie back in town. Brad, welcome back.
Thanks, Dave. Nice to be back.
How was your summer?
It was good. It was a little different, as you know, as most people's was. But no, it was good. I spent my summer in PEI back home in Charlottetown, and it was good. And I'm really happy to be back here now, too.
Awesome. Well, you've been busy over the summer with hockey stuff. I know that. Just looking at some of the social media posts that have been going out. Talk to us a little bit about what's going to happen this year with the team.
Yeah, we never sit on our hands during the summer, so part of what we do is we try to build for the next season, and that process really starts as soon as our season ended. So even though the season got cut short in terms of there was no playoffs in our league and stuff like that last year, the minute that we finished playing, we started preparing for the draft. So our draft took place in June. After the draft, then you start looking into, staying in touch with the players that you have, but also looking at potential trades, free agents that you can pick up. And so the last couple of weeks, we've had a few new player signings. Those weren't things that just came out of the air. These are things that we were working on for a while. Some of them took a couple months to get done, and part of that was the uncertainty of when the season would start. So once we got that date, things started to move along, and so it's a long process, but now we're excited to see all these guys in camp here starting tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, talk to us, Brad, a little bit about what's involved in going after a player. You're trying to get somebody to attract them to the town of Grand Falls. Maybe they've never heard of Grand Falls before if they're coming from Ontario. I know I hadn't before I came here. So what's involved in that process?
Yeah, it's different for every player. There's some players that are from the Maritimes that we draft. So then once you draft them, you try to explain the program to them, explain the opportunity that might be here for them. And our draft is unique too. I think some people don't realize that our draft might be the trickiest draft in hockey because you're trying to find the guys that, they're not going to go play major junior or they might at some point, but they may spend some time in junior A. So we have to evaluate that, and then the second piece to it is kids have a lot of options these days. Kids, they got good midget programs, there's prep schools, there's opportunities in other junior leagues. So we've got to then, after you draft a kid, it doesn't mean he's 100% signing up and coming. You have to then convince the player to come play for your program, and I think that starts with kind of what we tried to do last year is start to build a program that people are excited about. And one of the things that I really am happy with now and starting to be excited about is that we've had a few players that we've recently added that asked to come to Grand Falls. And so when you get players that start to ask for trades to our program or free agents that start to ask to be here, I think that shows that we're doing something right in terms of the people that we're bringing in and the program we're trying to build. And then, like you said, there's some people who don't know anything about the Maritime Hockey League. We added a guy, Tyler Boivin, he's from Ontario, and we added Vincent Droulet and Zachary Cormier from Quebec. And these are guys that they don't really probably know too much about the Maritime League off the start. So we're starting from ground zero, and we're trying to first explain the league, explain our program. There's a lot of conversations that go back and forth, and some work in your favor, some don't, but that's part of the program.
Awesome. And well, listen, we've got a fairly junior program with the Rapids here in Grand Falls, but I think people from the area would know that Woodstock is where this team started out. But talk to us a little bit about the history and, when they were recruiting you to come be the coach for the team, what was that like for you to be able to come here? And
yeah, I think we're in a unique spot that we have a chance here to really capture the idea of we're a fresh team and we're going into our third season, so we still have that fresh look to us, and at some point that'll fade away. But we also can't lose sight that there's a rich history with Woodstock. And I'm very fortunate, and the team is to have Danny Braun as our general manager, who has been with Woodstock really since day one and has built some championship teams there. And one thing Danny would say as much as anybody is it takes time to build something up, and Woodstock went through that, and they went through the ups and downs of junior hockey like any team, but he knows, and this organization has got to the point where they know what a championship roster looks like and what it takes to build that roster. So I think we need to rely on that a little bit behind the scenes, but also take advantage of the fact that we're still a new team. We've got a great fan base that's excited about something new in town, so we kind of get the best of both worlds in that regard.
Awesome. So this year training camp's going to be a little bit different. I think the whole season's going to be a little bit different. But what are you guys doing and measures are you taking to make sure that the players are safe and that the fans are going to be safe when they come to the arena as well?
Yeah, it's certainly different, and it's changing every day, to be honest, just like anything else. So we're really taking the directive from public health and from the league. They've put a lot of protocols in place that we'll be following. Simple things, like what we're following every day. If there's no social distancing being able to be maintained, the guys are wearing masks, and actually off the hop, our guys are wearing the mask basically all the time. We had to bring in 6 guys to self-isolate here 14 days early, guys from Quebec and Ontario. So they're in the middle of doing that now. And so our training camp is going to be a bit different. Those guys aren't here yet. They're in town, but they're not going to be joining our team until the second week of camp. We're also restricted in the number of players that we can have at camp at any given time. So what it's done, and for us it's not a huge thing because I think we have a decent idea of who our team's going to be, but we're limited in terms of who we can bring in. So what that's done is it's allowed us to get down in our numbers early. So anybody that's attending our camp has a legitimate chance of cracking a roster spot this season. They're going to get a good look. And it's going to be a competitive camp because of that as well. We're right down to our numbers, so let's get at it.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of people who are sharing some excitement around what they're seeing, and with the signings and with the team. I know the team last year had there were some exciting times there, and a little rough spots as well. But I think in talking to the boys over the summertime when we had our chats, they were all fired up and ready to go. So I think it's going to be an exciting time. What are you most looking forward to this season?
Well, number one is I'm looking forward just to getting started and getting back. It's been a weird summer, as everybody knows, and when we heard that the league was, first it was October 2nd, then it got pushed to October 30th, there's that uncertainty, and once we get that firm date, I called all the returning players and I said, I kind of left it to them. I said, when do you want to start camp? Like, I'm ready to go tomorrow, but do you want to start camp in October? They all said, let's go. Let's get going, even though if it's going to be a longer camp. So we settled on September the 18th, which is tomorrow. And so I'm looking forward to getting going, and I'm looking forward to building on some of the stuff we did last year. I know we took our lumps at times last year. We had some good momentum at other times, but I think behind the scenes and in the dressing room, we did some good stuff in terms of starting to build up the culture that we want. It takes time, and we're bringing back a good core group of guys that are excited and that want to be here and feel like we're building something special here, and then we've added to that some both older and younger guys that are excited to join the team as well.
Awesome. What's it like for you, Brad, when you're out in the town of Grand Falls? So people now know who you are, and driving around your vehicle with the Rapids logo on, it's pretty hard to miss you sometimes. But what's it like for you just in the grocery store, as an example? You're going to do the groceries on an off day, and tell me a little bit about the behind the scenes with Coach Brad here in the town of Grand Falls.
Yeah, well, sometimes I have to take my wife's car, just especially if we lose a game the night before or something. I might not want to be seen in the green Rapids car, but no, it's fun. You know what? It's one of the things that I liked first right off the hop when I got here to Grand Falls was when I was going through the interview process and stuff, and I got introduced to a couple of people, and people are very welcoming here, as you know, from being from away as well, and people do know you, and what I love about Grand Falls is it's a hockey town. Mm-hmm. And that's been my life since I was born, basically, it's been hockey, so anywhere I go, they want to talk, and they want to talk hockey. And I'm always up for that. So it's exciting. It makes me feel welcomed into the community, but it also gives me energy because I know that this team means so much to the town of Grand Falls. And I know our players recognize that too, because they're in the same boat when they go to the grocery store. If they're out and about, people talk to them about what's going on with the team. And this year it's been a little bit, even more excitement, I feel, because of all the uncertainty and what's gone on in the summer and different sports being canceled, and everybody's excited for hockey season to get back up and running. And we're seeing that right from the get-go. As soon as I got back in town, people are asking, when are we starting? Who's coming? Let's get going.
Nice. No, that's perfect. Now, I think that's great. And so if you had to ask one thing of everybody in the town of Grand Falls for this season, what's your ask of the population?
That's a good question. I mean, just stay with us. Like it's been a different year. We're still figuring out how many people we're going to get in the building in terms of tickets and stuff like that, and we're trying to add some more stuff behind the scenes. You guys are doing a great job with social media and videos and stuff. So stay with the team. Keep following it. Understand that we're following certain restrictions this year that maybe isn't ideal for everybody. We'd love to fill the house and be a packed place every night, but it can't happen all the time, and there's certain community events that we've done in the past that we're not going to be able to do just because of the players have to be away from some of that stuff. So stay with us. We're here. We want to be a big part of the community, and we appreciate the support from everybody.
Awesome. Well, you heard him. If you want to stay up to date on everything going on, Rapids Wrap right here is a good place to do that. We're going to go behind the scenes with team, unprecedented access. You're going to get to see things that nobody gets to see on this channel. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications so you know when we're uploading videos. We're going to upload stuff all the time. We'll have Brad back on over the course of the season as well. Thanks for taking some time to talk to us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave, and thanks for all the behind-the-scenes work. It's going to be a fun year, and we're going to throw some new stuff at the fans, as you say.
For sure. Perfect. Thanks, guys.